What's up, everybody? This is That Brown Bat here for another part of the Coruscant Let's Build. And I'm going to build on this, but I'm going to start over because I think if I go from where I'm at, it's going to be too big. But nevertheless, I think I have a concept down. Of course, you can see it. What am I building? To me, it's going to be Uscru or something like that. Not underground, because you're still going to be able to see the sky. All right, the idea is that the Jedi Temple is going to be scaled back, and pretty much the only thing you're going to be able to do is leave and go inside. Now, of course, that's not all done. I haven't even started the interior yet, but that's a plan. But because I'm unable to do the whole trench around here, it's going to be so linear, I guess, where you won't even be able to go out of bounds. And if you do, you do that. So... But I have a barrier around it, and you can't even fly the vehicle. If I jump in this vehicle, I go out. I go out there. But I gotta do some practice with the path creators, where you can actually... Yeah, I should have... All right, this is just a prototype anyway. Where, like, if you get to here or something like that, maybe... another path creator will go down. I'm not sure how to do that. I know someone who does, but if I'm going to do that, I'll ask him if he can show me one of his videos. But anyway, that's the idea, to have like 4 different places you can go from here and load up another world. And if I am going to take chunks off the back of this and off the side, because you won't be able to go over here anyway, I might be able to build an interior, not necessarily, well, it would be inside, but it wouldn't be inside of this. So you'd warp from here. It'd be in the same toy box. That's my plan. Let's see if it works. I'm not going to do that right now. So let's jump into Uscru, which is pretty much, to me, Uscru is the city between the cracks. So, the city between the cracks. Now, the entertainment district is in Uscru. You know, it's funny. It's really not funny, but we're dealing with one tiny pocket of Coruscant, which is pretty much the federal district. What else is out there? I mean, it's all city, but you can't tell me that those 8 districts and that this little pocket is all that is. There could be like the Winnie the Pooh district. I'm just making up some weird thing. But anyway, let's get into a new toy box. All right, so right from the start, we're going to use Star-Lord's terrain. That's what I'm using for the sidewalks. All right, if you don't have Star-Lord's terrain, if you're building on console, you can use Dusty Crop Hopper. That works always for sidewalks. I just want to avoid using 1,000 different little floor blocks from the Simple Toys, because even though this is going to be small, it's still going to be big, but it's not going to be huge. Does that make any sense? So we want to go to building set 5. And this is just to get our size. And we might be able to delete these later on. But I'm just going to see, I just went up a little bit. And I'm going to go down 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. From there, I'm just going to do 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. I'm going to put one down here. Then I'm going to put one over here and delete that middle one. And I'm going to go up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I forgot to mention, hide the holes. But actually, well, we're going to cover these up with panels, but not all of it. We're not going to cover up the outside. So I guess hide the holes just in case you decide to keep these. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that'll be good for right now. Let's put a floor down here. Terrain. We're going to use the large terrain block, and it's going to fit right in between. We don't want it right there, though. Now, if your big blocks move slow, what you can do is put it down and undo it, and then it'll speed it up. I don't know why. But we're going to put it right there. Don't worry about the crack or the gap that it's going to make, because it's going to get filled up. All right. So I'm going to put one down, drop one right below it because they snap really good, and then undo so I can get it to go fast. Thing is, I don't remember them going that slow on the console, so you probably don't have to worry about that. All right, so that's good. Now I just have to make sure that those panels are going the right way. Yep, I want them to go this way. So pretty much, this is going to be the entire toy box in between these walls. If we have time or space, then we can we can go beyond these walls, but for all intents and purposes, we won't have to worry about that. What we're going to do is we want to get a measurement here because we're going to build. Let's put it this way. Come on. These are going to be buildings, skyscrapers, whatever, and in the middle are going to be smaller buildings or taller buildings, whatever. So what we want to do is get a measurement of the middle. And actually, the best way I think we're going to do that is put roads on the side. And Game Maker, get the roads, get the long road. And we want to measure this out by leaving, I think, 2.5 on each side. I think that was the deal. So let me get some small blocks here. One, two. I think that's how it's going to be. All right, so the theme, what was regular road, whatever you want, really, whatever you think is good. I'm going to stick with regular road for right now. Hulk road might be good. All right, so I said 2.5, so what you do is just move it over to the right just a little bit. And from here, move it over to the left just a little bit. That's a half. And I hope I'm right. If I'm not, then I'll have to fix it. This should allow us to get another road. Actually, nope, we don't need another road in the middle. If I'm correct, I go to Simple Toys, or whatever toys. 1, 2.5. 1, 2.5. The basic sidewalk should allow us to go up to building set 5. Now, I'm not going to make every building the same size, but this is the typical size that I want. Over half. Perfect. The typical size I want for building is going to be something like this. So what are these? 3? Yeah, so 6 by 6 by 6. But I don't just want to stick it arbitrarily anywhere at the side. Now there's going to be some sort of a wall that's going to back up against this. So I'm only putting this here. Hold on. There. I'm only putting this here for measurement purposes right at the moment, because I think there's going to be a wall here with a storefront or something. I'm not quite sure, but I want these to be somewhat equal. So the path between it, even, not equal, even. I want them to be even. So I don't want a building that's going to be over there. I want it to actually be a full block. So 3, 2, 4, whatever space in between. I don't want it to be on a half. I want everything to be even in case I need to go back. Right? So what I'm going to do with these is take these all the way up. There's going to be 8 of them going up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'm going to skip 2 for a whole space, a whole block worth. Because what we're going to do is we're going to take the long Death Star light and put 8 of them in between each one. Until you get to the seam, and then the seam of where they meet, I'm going to put 2 side by side. So I'm going to do that all the way across. Whoops. Make sure you're touching the actual building. Now, if this is going to be too big for you, cut off the third one that I put down there and only make it 2 rows. So I'm going to just go through and do the rest of these. And I'll be back un momento. After that's done, you can look all the way up. The bottom row, they're going to be doors, so we're going to remove the bottom row, but the only reason I put those there is for to get things to line up. Same thing with this particular one on the edge, and I'm going to do that down here too. Just to get stuff to line up. And it's all modifiable to some extent. There's pieces that you can put in to make it all work. If you say, I don't want that, I want to move that, you should be able to within reason. All right, so what I'm going to do basically here, an alleyway is going to be worth 1. A road to go in between, well, alleyway could be 2, but definitely if we're going to put a space of 3, then definitely a road's going to go in between or more. So here, I'm just going to put a space of 1, and I'll start off with, let's do, make it 4 of these. Right, and they're going to be 2 wide, and this one, of course, I said 4 long. Okay, and then we're going to go up 1. Now you can, 2 of these equals 3 of these, so I'm going to skip a row, go like this, go around the back like this. Now, they're not all going to be the same. So keep that in mind. Now for this, I say we're going to do a wide door. So let me get Simple Toy and use the Coruscant metal tile. Stick that right there. And I'm gonna do the same thing over here. So that's gonna leave in between, what do we have? 4. I don't like having 4 in between. So what am I gonna do about that? Well, I'd prefer to have at least 3. So let's see what we're gonna do. Improvise is what we're gonna do. So let's stick that there, that there. I guess in this circumstance, in this instance, 4 will work. Now I'm not going to use this one. What I'm going to use is this one right here. And that can, these I guess can drop down. I know I have that wall in the way. Normally we don't do this, but when we're working in between closed walls, that's what happens. It's exactly what happens. All right, so I want... how am I going to do this? Because I want... a space of 3. So I want to do this. Now, this is where things get interesting. Because what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put like a stairway to an apartment going up. But not right this moment. What I'm going to do is take care of this gap. And I'm going to use, now you can use these, but you know what? We can also use these. I'm trying to use as least pieces possible. And what I want to do here is go to the hologram. And get the corners. Like that. And then we're just going to do this. And we shouldn't have a gap just because of how these Death Star tiles are. If we do end up with major gappage, then I will take care of that accordingly when we get to those particular situations. Now I can bring this all the way across like that, or I can leave that and I didn't mean to do that. Or I can put that there like that. What I'm going to do is get a path creator. Stick that right there like that. All right. What I want to do, Toybox path down, vertical -3. No, not reverse loop. Reverse one way and stop. All right, so can we get one of these? Stick it right there. Well, we can't because of the ghost of Christmas Past. No, the ghost of the block. So I'm just going to detach this. Change the style to Coruscant metal tile. Stick that right like that. And then this still has in its memory that it's has the -3 vertical, and I'm going to do that. All right, and that is pretty much the basics of the open shop. Now we'll put adequate stools in front later on. Now let me go to get an adequate. Now I could drop that down too, but now it's gonna look naked up on top, and I don't want no naked. Put some clothes on. So I'm just going to get this walkway end cap from the Incredibles or Toy Story in Space. Go up to this and shove that in just a little bit. Now you can do this however you want, but it looks more sci-fi-ish to me. Another thing you can do if you don't want to use that, you can use a trim piece. Basically, now that I think of it, probably just as well use a long block. Go to your city. See, unfilled. No, don't go to your city. Don't go to your city. Go to buildings. And go to the Toy Store, Big Hero 6. And this is pretty much going to serve as your bar, the outdoor bar, because there's no alcohol in Disney Infinity. It is double caffeine. This is pretty much Four Loko here. Outlawed stuff. And of course chairs. So if you go to decorations, might be under unfiltered. I'm not sure where they are filtered. So let me go to unfiltered decorations. And just for placeholders, just put these here. There are stools that are available in the interior. They might be too small, the stools. So I don't know. Do it however you want. But I would put the stools there, even though they poor excuse for stools, right? And we want some sort of a door here. So I'm gonna get a replayer. Get these on a replayer. Might want these on a replayer too. Not 100% sure, but let me go to the block walls. That should suffice it right there. I think. Nope, it needs to go back. Now, when it goes back, we have, depending on what way, we can have it closer to us. We want it closer to us. So right like that. Is that, and then that is not in the middle. See, there's a block there. That'll get it in the middle. Yes. Yes, because the block's there and the block's here. Yeah. All right. So I'll probably want to get those on the recorder too. Let me change the style to dark chrome. Now let me hit record. Hit clear. Get a trigger area. See if we can get away with just one. Let's hit playback. Perfect. All right, we're done with that. We're done with that. Now, I'm not going to put on this one. Oh. Probably should do something with getting this halfway in there, maybe. I'm thinking. But I don't want to. I don't want to go through the headache of putting all those on the replayer again. I mean, I can, but since we're going to put that in there, this won't connect to a path creator, at least it won't on this version of the game. So I'm going to just put the path creator through this, right? And then I'm going to connect that and that, right? And then I want to sync these with something that has logic. New logic connection entered any. Don't care. This is just one of my merging tricks. And reset and play. All right. I'm going to grab that. And then I'm going to carefully delete that. And then I'm going to do the same thing over here. And I'm going to have it go through, whoops, that. Now the only thing that's going to matter really are the solid block walls. The thin ones, usually you can get away, I think, with merging or just going through without any additional help. But we got lucky that time, I think. I don't know. Just be careful you don't delete the pieces. There. Now, there's Z fighting, but that's going to be hidden once we take care of that. Like this. Let's see, I need a replayer first. And that's what we need. Actually, well, we're not going to use the long one. We're going to use 2 2 of the short ones. Or we can use Death Star lights. Probably should have went the other way. All right. One there. One there. Hit clear. Hit record. Now get Simple Toys. We want a staircase. Just have it sticking out a half like that. Clear. And hit record. And we need something up top. Like that. Clear. Playback. All right, but we need a door. Of course we do. All right. I'm going to leave that there just in case. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. And there's 2 ways we can do a door. One of them is using 2 of these side by side where it looks like a double door. Or you can use one of them and use the robin's egg. And it has that seam going in the middle, so sticking that right in there like that. Just use a trigger area to go over the stairs. And that works just fine. So I'm going to stick with that because a lot of you might not. Maybe you'll run out of room, and if we're going to have if we're going to have 20 of these, it's best to use one. Then one. 20 rather than doubling them up and having 40. I'm just using that number as a guesstimate because there's going to be a lot of the apartment rooms going up along the wall. So again, we might even have to delete one of the sections of the blocks. But we'll stick in an area. I won't go past here, right? And we'll see how we are because I want to go up. Not all the way up, just up where you can see that, oh, there's more buildings up there. Okay. And this will be pretty much the same concept as when I do the Underworld. The only difference is the Underworld, you can't see the sky. And you actually have buildings hanging down upside down, which I think is kind of weird. Now, we don't want to leave a block just like that, so go to the city. Building set group 2 and get the green, the small one, right? Now we want it not there, but we want it halfway between there and there. How do we do that? Well, number one, you can just say, I'm going to leave it like that. Or put it down, put your finger, I can't film myself doing this, but hold your finger on the right trigger. And when you keep it on there, right? And when you put it down, it didn't do anything. It depends on how you move your stick, the timing of it. Put it down and it'll go right in half, or go halfway down. Now, what do I do with this piece right here? what do I do with that? A lot of times what I would do, and it's a good thing I still have this in place, but I would stick a window up here. So maybe, what if I turn that to hologram? That's not a bad, it's not a bad idea, but it can be better. I'm gonna hit record because this was on the recorder. I want to delete that. I want to, is this, that should be fine. I'm going to clear all of this out. And I'm going to hit record again. We're on building set 2. And I'm going to take the skyscraper piece. Now, my texture is modded, but because they actually have better versions in the files that they didn't use, but this will still suffice if you don't have the mod swapped on that. That's fine. But maybe try that. I'm going to hit clear, hit playback. Oh, oops. I need that. And I need to move this out of the way. So the stairs can actually load in. And let's see what we get. Might look weird with the neon or the hollow right above it. Let's hit play. Yeah, it looks funny with having that hollow right above it. What do we do then? Normally I don't do that. I would have a row of windows or something. I wouldn't have the hologram right there. Yeah. Hit record. It's just having this here and then that is just weird to me. If I had all of this is this, then that'd be fine. I mean, I can go through and do that. But I'm not. All right, clear, record. I want to put it back in the way it was. But I'm just showing you something that I might do later then. Yeah. I'll do it the other way next time, Muggsy. I think I know how we're getting these weird things. Because that short block was on a replayer, the collision is messed up now. So I think there's the answer, Login Productions. I think I figured it out. I don't know if this is set in stone, but that's probably what happened in that episode of the temple build when I arbitrarily put those blocks in between each other and didn't realize what I was doing. But it happened. Is that too close? That is too close. That needs to back up. And I took... Yeah, so I still need the trigger area. It just won't go in by itself. There. And since this is a open shop, we need to take care of the walls. Now, how do you want to do the walls? Do you want to have paneled walls? Do you want to stick things to the wall? That's totally up to you, but that's going to determine the direction that you put these if you use these. So if I want things to actually stick to the wall, then I'm what I want them. I'm what I really want is zing a zing, huh? I'm gonna want to have them like this. I guess that'll be in the middle. But what about the stove and the oven and all that stuff? You know? Here's another thing we can do. Have it two-tone. What color would the walls be? I don't know. Aqua stucco? Executive. La-di-da. Like that. I guess I could do that. But whatever we use, we want to keep it the same in every one we do. I know it look repetitious, but you can hardly even tell that it's two-tone. And if you want to change the floor, go ahead. I'm going to leave it as such and take care of those small things later. I think that looks pretty neat. The floor, what would I do for the floor? I would use the checkered floor. But anyway, I'm out of time. So you got a concept here. What would I do for the back? Is the back going to be identical to the front? Usually that's not the case. You know why? Because in the back, all right, leave that alone. I would like to make that something. I'll leave these here. But I'm going to go to building set 2. The back is where they load things and throw out trash. And the AC units and all that. So that's good. So I would put that there, but there's not enough space. I could put a back door here. So what I'm doing is I'm just using different pieces to fill in the gaps. We want Coruscant for this. And don't have it go behind it. You want to hide the gaps by flipping it like this. Unless you intend on putting something on it, but I don't see why you would. All right. And then cover up to we're not going to put stairs here. Maybe you want that to stick out a little bit. Just have that go back half a block and change that to Robin's egg. Now, if that's too tall of a door, maybe there we go. Now it doesn't look so tall. Still tall, but it doesn't look as tall. And that sticking out like that, I know we're getting into using 1,000 different pieces. If it comes to size, stick with blocks, but here's a thing we can do. Toy Origins, find the Incredibles. Get one of those AC units. Now, unfortunately, the only bags of trash... Oh, yeah. Actually, I was going to say, the only bags of trash we have here are actually... I don't know where they're at. That's what I'm trying to say. There are bags of trash in the toy box. Maybe it's under Spider-Man. But anyway, worry about that later. But you can put bags of trash out by the back door. Okay. Well, until next time, remember to keep on building. And yeah, I know I never put a top up here. I just thought of that. All right. Should we put a top on now? What are we going to do about a top? Well, I don't know. You just need units and stuff up here. I'm trying to think. Hurry, 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 hurry. Toy Origin. So they're Guardians. Just wanted to make sure that's even. Now, if you want to make that more detailed, knock yourself out. Because all you really need are different pieces. Just to carry on. You could use kiln pieces too. Kilns work. Kiln works. Game Maker, no building, terrain, Toy Origin. That would be under Assault, Escape. Escape the kiln. These pieces always work. Don't want to put too much stuff up there. Just for one building, you know. Normally, I would line the borders with these and call it done. So why not? And leave it alone. There are bigger AC. There are bigger units under the Incredible sets. That gives you 2 instead of having to use 3. Anyway, it's coming together right now. Over me. Do, 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 do. All right. Yes, it looks awesome. All right. We'll see you guys next time. And in the meantime, remember to keep on building.